Hi everyone, I'm Chris, the Senior Product Manager for the release stage here at GitLab. I'm here with Hayana, the acting product designer for release, and she's also the product design manager for Verify, Package, and Release. And this is the 14.10 planning issue. So we'll start with the goals for the milestone and go through the engineering deliverables, and then I'll pass it over to Hayana to discuss the design work for the milestone. Okay. So in terms of goals for the milestone, we'll be focusing on security and availability for the product. We have a few bugs that we want to take on and resolve for our customers. And we'll also be focusing on some instrumentation issues so that we better understand how our users are using the product. Okay, let's move on to the issues. So the first one is a security issue that we're tackling. For the quarter, we have a engineering-wide OKR to resolve a lot of these issues. And so one of the ones that we're working on that'll be slotted for this milestone. The next two are related to our availability for the product. And so we've been really focused on making sure we remain within our error budget and that we have high availability for our users for the product. So this one is related to one of the areas where we see a lot of errors. We want to resolve this and make sure that we provide the best experience for our customers. The second one is related in terms of APIs that are exceeding certain thresholds and error thresholds. And again, we want to resolve this. Bala did great work, so shout out to Bala on investigating a lot of these and figuring out what areas we should prioritize in terms of making improvements for our error budget. The next one we've talked about before, and is actually in progress, but this one is multiple on stop for an environment. And so today we only support and only actually execute one of the on stop hooks that are defined for an environment in the YAML file. This issue will allow users to define multiple on stop hooks that will actually run when an environment is stopped. So it increases the flexibility and allows teams and users to make sure that they kind of take down in different environments and support all the different scenarios that they might have for their environments and deploy jobs. The next one is one of the bugs that we're taking on right now. We're displaying sometimes the wrong commit in certain scenarios. So we want to make sure that we always accurately reflect the actual commit that's deployed to the environment. And so this is one of the SUS UX related bugs that we want to make sure we're solving and showing the right commits for our users. The next one is fixing some copy, but it's a little bit misleading today where we say that we don't have any environments when we're looking at the stops tab. We want to correct the copy to make sure that we're accurately representing what we're actually showing. So in this case, it should say you don't have any stopped environments right now on that stops tab. The next one is another bug. Right now, in some cases, we might actually show the wrong deployments in the UI. And so this should be a quick fix where we make sure that we order the deployments the right way and we actually show the right deployments on the UI. All right, the next two are related to instrumentation, as I said in the goals for the milestone. So these I'm really excited about, especially as we continue to learn more about our users and better understand how users are using GitLab to deploy. And so this particular one, we're aggregating the number of users that are triggering deployments. So today we have a counter that shows us users and teams that are deploying using environments. This allows us to be a little bit more broad in terms of capturing how many users are using GitLab to deploy. So now we're combining users that are that have stages that look like deploy stages, as well as combining that with the existing counter that we have today. This will give us a better view across the different teams that are using GitLab to deploy. And what we'll do in a future iteration is potentially combine these metrics so we have a more holistic view of deployments. And then the last one here is instrumentation for the deployment approvals. So excited about this feature that we've been working on for the past few milestones. We want to add instrumentation to better understand how users are using it. And so so that we can make improvements over time, we can capture what's working and what's not. Okay, so that's it for the P1 issues. We do have a few P2 and P3 issues, as you see here. Feel free to take a look at those for more detail. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Hayana to discuss our design work.
Thanks, Chris. The first item in the design table is a solution validation for the environments page redesign. So that's a second round of validation. In 14.8 and 14.9 we designed, and also we implemented a series of interface changes to address usability issues in the environments view. And we received feedback from some users, some customers about how those changes impact their daily tasks and also the overall perception of the page and usability. So we're going to continue to iterate on this capability and understanding how the future changes that we want to make in the environments page will impact the users, the tasks, but also looking into some different personas. So 14.10, you'll be conducting a series of user interviews to validate and make these appropriate updates and move forward with the environments page redesign and vision. Second is the approve deployment from the detail view. So we want to expand the ability for users to approve or reject deployments through the environments page. After receiving a notification, for example, for a new deployment approval, we want users to have the ability to navigate to a place where they can see what deployment they actually need to act on or to approve, reject, anyways, to just to review. And that's the design part of this problem. As I mentioned, this is an important update, right? A continuation to the design flow that will allow us to iterate on the notifications and the completion of the improvement flow in the next iterations. Next, more environment stuff. It's the action notification flow, the to-dos. So we want to understand, we do understand how important it is for users to stay informed about what's being deployed and where, and when they need to approve, when they need to review these items. So we are ideating on how to deliver the notification to the approver of these pre-deployments to production or whatever environments they choose. Ideally, well, not ideally, but initially through the to-dos that will follow a similar notification flow that we have today, for example, for environments, for issues and merge requests. And lastly, it's another usability improvement also related to environments. This issue addresses UI copy. There's some confusion today when users have to redeploy an environment and the text that they see, it's not clear. This issue is also related to tech writing, so it's a UI copy, and it also contributes to the current UX OKRs for SaaS. So we are addressing severity 2 UX bugs that impact usability, and working on the proposal, on the design of this issue will help us contribute to that particular UX engineering OKR. So that's it for UX. So now back to Chris.
Thanks, Hayana. Excited about all the great work that's coming up. Excited to work with you also, part of the team. And so that's what we have planned for 14.10. More detail in the planning issue here. I'll link it in the summary for the video. And if you have any questions or feedback, let us know. Thank you.